The Blue Jackets win their fourth straight game here this evening, and they do it in style against the Philadelphia Flyers here tonight. 3-2 the final score in this one. Brandon Dubinsky playing his first game of the year. Brandon, well, you get the result you wanted. How was it? How do you feel now that it's over right now?
It's good to get it out of the way for me, but it's really all about the team right now. We needed the points. Back and forth game, momentum. They had the momentum. We had the momentum. They had it there the last 5-6 minutes of the third there, but after our power play, so we got to do a better job on the power play. But overall, points are the most important thing right now, and great shot, great first goal for Knott's there.
That's a game where you have to overcome once again. I mean, they score a goal with 56 seconds left. It's a borderline goal, one that just sneaks through. But at that point, it looked like you regrouped pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, look, we said we got one. Let's go for two, and we didn't hang our heads, and that's a sign of a good team. We went out there and started going back after them again, and again they had their chances, but we're opportunistic, and Joey makes a great play and a great finish.
You'd be a little late coming in. Just how did you feel tonight? A lot of minutes. I think you had 18 minutes or so. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's no preparing for a game until you get there. So I had my ups and downs throughout the game, but overall pretty good. And like I said before the game, it's just really nice to get back with these guys and get back to work with them.
And feel good to contribute for you on Boone's goal there in the first.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. It's always nice to to get your points, but. For me, it was just about trying to do the other things and bring the other things that are, make me an important player to the team. And like I said, there were some ups and downs for me, but I'll continue to get better.
When a goal is scored like that, less than a minute to go in regulation, what's the mood on the bench, and how do you keep the resolve to not let that one slip away?
Well, I think if you would have asked us 5 games ago, it would have been a little different. But the boys have been playing pretty well and won some games here in a row. So we didn't put our head down. We just said let's go out there and get the second point and find a way to win this one. And again, they had some more chances, but we stayed opportunistic and went out there and found a way.
All right, let's go over to Kevin Connaughton here. He gets the game-winning goal here tonight, and it's his first goal as a member of the Blue Jackets. As I dance over these important pads of Sergei Bobrovsky here tonight, I don't want to mess that up. And here's Kevin Connaughton.
What's it feel like now? It's nice. I think obviously after they scored that late one, the mood was a little down on the bench, but we kind of forgot about it and moved on. And it's good teams are able to forget about mistakes and go out there and make up for it.
Kev, it was the early part of overtime for your goal. You guys were pinned in your zone for about a minute, and once the turnover took place, did you kind of look up and realize you were going to win that race down the ice? Because you guys were probably ready for a change, but you had enough for one last go.
Yeah, I think in overtime it's a little different mentality since there's, without the fifth guys out there, there's a lot more space. So 5-on-5, I don't know if I would have jumped there, but 4-on-4, they get caught 3 guys low, and you got that 2-on-1. And like I was saying earlier, Joey made an unbelievable play to draw that D over and create the breakaway for me. So.
When you're going in on Mason there, are you looking at anything specific once the puck's on your stick, or you just concentrating on receiving the pass and then taking whatever you get?
I think initially just wanted to control it. The ice isn't great in overtime, so I just wanted to make sure I got a handle on it. And then after that, I knew he was opposite catcher, so I wanted to shoot blocker, but I wasn't planning on putting it, that upstairs. I was thinking more, maybe a little lower, but it worked out.
But wait till you go back and watch it and see how pretty it looks when it's all said and done.
Yeah, those are always nice when they look good on camera, but, I wish I could say that I was trying to make it that accurate.
How nice is it to be able to continue this streak, though, especially when you give up a late goal like that and maybe you're unsure for a second, but you're able to come out with the 2 points?
It's great. I mean, especially with, the short-term success we've had lately. It's just something that we're coming in a day-by-day mentality, whether it be practice or a game, and working on getting better and working on getting a win and climbing our way back in the standings.
Kevin Connaughton, he had a game-winning goal here tonight, and Scott Hartnell's over here talking. Let's go over here and listen what Scott Hartnell has to say. He scored a goal tonight against his old team, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, it's fun, but finally, more myself mentally getting over the trade, and not necessarily coming to terms with it. I'm not sure what the word is, but I know I'm a Blue Jacket now, and it definitely feels nice to beat those guys. Thanks, Scott.
Scott, no question you knew they were going to come hard tonight, and they did that in the third period. You know, how important is it that you guys were able to persevere and overcome tonight?
They got a solid team over there, and they definitely don't have any quit in their game, obviously, and it took to the 59th minute for them to tie it up, but there's just a sense of that we're going to win every night right now, and I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, obviously, but I think when we had our tough times, it was we were just waiting for something to go bad, and now we're expecting to win. So mindset and focus is a big part of that, and we're believing right now.
Yeah, and speaking of believing, this group, the bulk of them that were here last year, they had that, and it kind of got away. So you're seeing that coming back again?
It's we're having more fun at the rink. Obviously, winning makes it a little bit more fun, obviously, and we're getting prepared for games better. I think you can just see it in the room that there's some confidence building, and we got to just keep up with that.
Yeah, and you can't rest because you have two more important division games coming up this week. You have to go to Washington and come back here and play Pittsburgh. So, but I guess this is one of those times when you're playing well and you have that confidence. You want to get out there every other day, don't you?
Yeah, it seemed like our November schedule was you're always traveling the back end of back-to-back, Friday, Saturday, and I think it was hard on the guys. So when you get in a game every other day, and travel's a little bit easier, obviously, and this month we got a lot of home games, so we got to just be ready for the next game, and the next one's in Wash, and we got to be ready to go.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. That's Scott Hartnell. He had a goal here tonight, one of the three for the Blue Jackets as they win in overtime, 3-2. Again, perseverance, the key in this game for the Blue Jackets. They could have, they could have folded with the Flyers putting all that pressure on in the third period and in the early part of the overtime. They never faltered. They just kept on coming. And then, again, the unlikeliest of heroes. That's what overtime is all about. Kevin Connaughton, the defenseman, slips behind the Philadelphia Flyers. Great pass from Ryan Johansson, too. A guy that's totally at the end of his shift and then some, completely out of gas. He's able to make that pass and give Connaughton the opportunity to end it, and that's exactly what he did. 3-2, the final score here tonight. We've got much more to come here on BlueJackets.com and on the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets Radio Network.
University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, giving you new hope and cancer ribbons a new purpose. Ohio Health and MD Anderson Cancer Network. Connect with us at ohiohealth.com. We fight cancer.
He shoots, he scores! He shoots, he scores! He shoots, he scores!
NHL Ticket Exchange gives ticket holders a sure shot at getting in. It's the only official ticket exchange of the NHL, where every Blue Jackets ticket is verified by Ticketmaster. This is how the NHL does it. You don't get somebody's old ticket, but a new one reissued just for you. Don't get burned by ticket fraud. Buy or sell at NHL.com/ticket exchange.
All right, 3 minutes.
NHL Ticket Exchange is a trademark of the National Hockey League.
Hey, Dad.
Yes?
Did you know Conn's potato chips are Ohio?
That's one of the reasons. They've been in business for over 78 years.
And now Conn's is the first official chip of our favorite hockey team, the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wow, that's great news.
Great potato chips.
2 minutes,
taste
30
like Conn's,
seconds.
And great hockey teams play like the Blue Jackets.
Welcome to the bank compatibility test. You will hear two bankers answer the same question. A Huntington banker and a banker from another bank that's not Huntington. Using advanced cardio sensors on your seatbelt, we will measure your physical response to their answers and determine which
2
bank
minutes.
is most compatible with you. Let's get started.
How does your bank define customer service?
Huntington.
We believe it's about being there in the branch, but also about making the digital experience better with mobile deposits and smart ATMs.
Other banker.
Usually when a customer needs help, we just tell them to download the apps, but we can also refer them to our overseas call center.
Calculating results. Through advanced heart rate analysis, we have determined that you like technology, but don't want it to be a substitute for customer service.
1 minute,
And
30
Huntington
seconds.
is most compatible with you. You also get way too emotional around Mexican food. Based on the results of our completely reliable heart rate analysis, you are advised to visit huntington.com and open a checking account today. Huntington. Welcome. Member FDIC.
Do you know a hockey mom who deserves to be this year's Marzetti Youth Hockey Mom of the Year? We want to know. Visit bluejackets.com/hockeymom and tell us why. It's easy to nominate a hockey mom, whether it's to thank her
All right,
for all
1
of those
minute.
early morning rides to the rink, delicious dinners after a long practice, or for always being your #1 supporter. Anyone can nominate an outstanding hockey mom. Help Marzetti find this year's Marzetti Youth Hockey Mom of the Year and thank your mom today at bluejackets.com
45 seconds.
/hockeymom.
Glove save made by Sergei Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky picks that one out of midair.
Hey, Jackets fans, put your scoring skills to the test and shoot on goaltender Sergei
30
Bobrovsky
seconds.
with Kia Shots on Bob. 3 winners and their guests will face Bob and also receive game tickets and a Bobrovsky t-shirt.
Shot save made. Follow-up chance and another big save by Sergei Bobrovsky.
20
Twice
seconds.
he says no.
Enter now at bluejackets.com/Kia for your chance to
15
light the lamp at
seconds.
Nationwide Arena.
All right, 10 seconds.
Blue Jackets a winner tonight in overtime. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers by the score of 3-2. They now lead the Flyers in the season series 2-1, and more importantly, they have now won 4 straight games. And it doesn't get any easier this week. The Blue Jackets heading into Washington to take on the Capitals on Thursday night and back home here against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday night. But Blue Jackets sitting in a much better spot right now than they were a week ago. Before they started to string these wins together. We talked throughout this entire losing streak, this losing 15 out of 17, and saying that you've got to get to a point where you start winning 4 or 5 in a row, and now they're at that point. They've got the 4 in a row, have a chance to go into Washington and pick up a 5th win here in just a couple of days. So as Scott Hartnell said just a couple of minutes ago, this team has confidence right now. They feel like they're going to win, and you could see that. You know, there were games earlier during that stretch of 3 weeks where if they would have given up that goal at the end of regulation like they did tonight, that they wouldn't have succeeded in the overtime. Or when the Flyers came with the pressure that they did in the overtime, it would have been enough for the Flyers to get what they were looking for and get the second point and get out of the building with both points. But that didn't happen here tonight, and the Blue Jackets just – well, they wouldn't let it happen, basically. And I was really impressed on that shift. Ryan Johansson was out there for so long, and he gets that puck on his stick, and he looks up the ice, and I was just expecting him to dump the puck, and he was lugging it, and then he saw Connaughton getting behind the lone man back for the Philadelphia Flyers, and it was a great pass, and then Connaughton with a great finish. And, you know, it's good for him, too, because when you get traded to a team, even though you get into the lineup, and he's been in and out of the lineup, Kevin Connaughton has, but you know what? Quite frankly, you really feel like a part of the team when you score a goal like he did tonight. Right now, let's send it to the media room. Head coach Todd Richards is there.
Todd, after regulation ended, I'm sure that's how you drew up that play?
Well, it was exciting for the fans. It was exciting for, I think, everybody involved. You know what? Credit to the guys, because you could tell the guys were they didn't have a lot of energy coming up the ice. But Kevin just put his head down, and Joey makes a good pass, and then Kevin makes a great shot.
Todd, a couple guys in the room mentioned that maybe 2 weeks ago you don't win that game because the confidence isn't there, but a game tonight in that situation with what you've done recently goes a different direction. Do you buy into that at all?
Absolutely. That's what when you aren't winning games, that's kind of the mentality. When you are winning games, it's you feel like you're going to win the game. But you have to find ways to win games first in order to get that confidence, and it comes from your practice habits and the things you do in practice, and it translates into games, and now you're winning hockey games, and it gives you some confidence. But even the way I think the third period ended, giving up the goal in the final minute, it might have been a time for us to collapse. Bob makes a couple saves in overtime for us and gives us a chance to go down the ice, and you can feel the team starting to get its spirit back, because there was a stretch there where that's what we had lost. And again, it comes from winning hockey games, but winning hockey games, you just don't show up and you just don't win. You have to put in the work, and the guys we're starting to get some healthy bodies back, which helps, but the work is coming too.
Todd, on that note, what did you think of Brandon's first night out and the impact you think that he'll have in the stretch moving forward here, getting him back?
It felt different on the bench, especially in the first period. just the energy, and I think the noise on the bench. And Brandon's a talker, and it's nice to hear his voice. And again, when guys are talking, you can help others by getting them into the game just by talking to them. And he did that, and I thought his game, you could tell he started to run out of gas there in the third. But as we move along here, it's going to take him some time, energy, and just conditioning, and then the timing and all of that. I think I played him 19 minutes or so. So that's a lot in his first game.
Todd, what was the question over the third goal, or the tying goal scored by the Flyers with 55 seconds left or whatever?
The question I had was the intent to blow the whistle. That's his hand was moving up, and I was told that it was a good goal. It was in the process of the shot, and good goal.
For Boone, it's 4 straight games with a goal now. Is it more the puck's finding him in good places, or do you think he's starting to grow in confidence offensively?
You have to work to get into good spots, and Boone is a worker, and he doesn't shy away from the hard areas. If you want to score, you got to go to the hard areas, and that's the way he plays. So he's a guy that's going to score a lot of goals in this league because of how he works, his attitude, his commitment, and guy plays with a lot of courage. And when you do that, you're going to go to the front of the net. You're going to get rewarded, and he's talented, so he's gonna do that a lot.
Todd, after the Tampa game, talked about good to have 3 in a row, but need to keep getting better. Did you get better tonight? Did you take another step in the right direction?
Yeah, we did. I felt we did. There are moments, and they're a good hockey team, and that's going to happen. I think they had 11 shots through 2 periods, and you got to be doing something right if you're doing that. Still have to get better. We're going to face Washington on Thursday, and the team, we're going to enjoy this tonight and come in tomorrow, get ready to work, and try to get better and get ready for Washington. Thanks.
That is head coach Todd Richards after his team's 3-2 overtime win over the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Jody Shelley joins me now to give us his take on the game tonight. And Jody, for the most part, the body of work was good by the Blue Jackets this evening. Let's talk about the first 2 periods first, because they got the 2 power play goals. They made them stand up. They looked like they came to play, to me, just like they did against Tampa on Saturday.
I agree, and it's nice to be in here after a win, of course. But to look back at this game, I like the way that they carried over from Tampa. I love the energy that Dubinsky brought, I think, to the building. You could see it this morning at pregame skate. His teammates, the coaches were excited. It's just a veteran player like Dubinsky who brings it every shift. I think we all appreciate his effort, and I think him in the locker room, too, I think gave that a big boost, and you could sense it. His line mates, Calvert and Atkinson, were going. And then Boone Jenner gets that pass from him. Jenner takes it to the net. Good to see Dubinsky get involved. He was on the first penalty kill. He was on the first unit power play, started overtime. So huge impact in this game, and I think he came back at the right time. Philadelphia Flyers were a desperate team here tonight. They have not been playing well, only 2 wins in their last 10 games. And, they got desperate at the end. You saw it. They made a big push, tied it up, which was unfortunate. But what I really love, Bob, and I think you'll agree with me, is that the way the Blue Jackets were able to push that off, go into overtime, and then make that play. That was an end of a shift for Ryan Johansson to make that pass to Connaughton, who was smart enough to say, hey, I'm with Ryan Johansson. I'm going to go ahead here. And, wow, what a finish on that play. So I love the reaction there after the Flyers tied it up late.
So that third period, was that desperation by the Flyers? Because the Blue Jackets, for much of the third period, looked like they were on the penalty kill. They were sitting back. It was almost as though, in some cases, they were content with the 2-1 lead. They knew they were playing their game. They knew they were doing the little things. And did you get the sense they were expecting that was going to be enough?
Well, if you think about this, go back to the power play in the third period. The Flyers had 2 golden chances shorthanded, and the Blue Jackets had no shot. So I think you're right. Even the indication of the power play is not, let's step forward and go take this game right now. They kind of sat back and were content with getting through that 2 minutes off the clock. So you could be right. Todd did mention that Dubinsky was getting gassed. Other players were getting tired. So who knows? But I agree with you. It did look more like a penalty kill. And maybe Philadelphia sensed that and made that extra push.
I just made this point before Todd Richards started. I want to get your opinion as a former player. For Kevin Connaughton, you come over here, you get claimed on waivers, you're playing, you're in and out of the lineup. Do you ever really feel a part of the team until you do what he did tonight and score a big goal like that to help the team get a big win?
Well, you do feel a part of it, but you go home thinking, geez, especially after losses, what could I have done better to help this team? And, I thought Timmy Erickson had a great game last game in Tampa. I was surprised Connaughton was in. He gets in, and boy, does he make an impact. I mean, that is what you want to do, obviously. The dream when you wake up from your pregame nap is I want to score an overtime winner.
So you dream during your pregame nap?
Yeah, the overtime winning goal. That's the same dream, no?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, overtime winner.
There it is.
There's the goal horn right there.
The overtime winner.
So, yeah, that's ideal situation for Connaughton. You want to chip in some way. There's a lot of guys still looking for their first goal. Michael Chaput, Jared Bowl. Overtime winner would be great.
Yeah, and it was great tonight. Blue Jackets a winner 3-2. They've won 4 in a row. Head off to Washington to take on the Capitals on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That'll do it for Jody and I and for our coverage at BlueJackets.com. Stay tuned. Mark Wyant has more of the Tim Hortons postgame show on the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets radio network.